One of the most common questions we get asked is around intent data and really the best ways to use it and what you can expect for different results. So we've been using intent data, for probably 4 years now. And there are two primary ways that we've used intent data, and I'll just kind of talk through our experience. So the first is in outbound campaigns. So normally when you're building a cold email campaign or a cold calling campaign, you're really relying on calling the right companies and calling the right job titles at those companies. So they're typically very cold. You don't necessarily know that company is purchasing your product or service or in the market or looking for anything. You just know that they're the right company, they're the right title at that company, and you want to have kind of an intro conversation. So that's how most kind of outbound starts. So using intent data, instead of, going after companies with the right company at the right title, we run outbound campaigns using intent data, which just really helps us identify the right companies. So our intent data that's embedded within the TalentView platform on a nightly basis will tell you, for over 100 different HR categories, who is looking at X, Y, or Z service more now than they were previously, and is someone that your team should prioritize reaching out to. So that's number one. We would almost always run intent campaigns if there was intent signals alongside normal cold outbound campaigns. And the results with that, what we typically see is a 20 to 40% uptick. So for example, if you're running cold email and cold calling campaigns and you're booking 10 meetings per month doing that, I would expect that, you'd get more like 12 to 15 if you were only running the same number of people through a cadence that was only targeted at intent leads versus cold leads. So cold email and cold calling, just normal outreach, LinkedIn is the first way. The second way is with paid advertising. So from a paid advertising perspective, if we can identify the companies that are searching for our products and services more, then we should be running paid advertising in multiple different ways to those folks. So some baseline stuff, you could go on LinkedIn, you could pick those companies and you could run campaigns directly at those companies instead of other companies that kind of meet your core target criteria. Part of the benefit of the intent data is once you've identified the companies, you can still use your normal targeting to get the right job titles at those companies. So you end up getting the people as well. So not only can you retarget kind of the companies through LinkedIn, but you can also get to those people through LinkedIn. And then you can also do larger retargeting, whether that's through YouTube or Facebook or wherever else, by having the actual individuals at those companies. So if you're a training solution and you're selling leadership development, you would, do your normal polls and poll leadership development and talent development and leadership development titles, learning and development, kind of all of those, advertise to those people on LinkedIn, advertise to those people on Facebook. So if you're running those campaigns together, they work really well because not only are they getting paid advertising, but then, they're getting calls and emails as well. And so that's why it performs so well. So those are the two main areas that most people focus on from an intent perspective. Intent's a little bit ambiguous. People don't always understand what to do with intent or even how it works. And there's a lot of different types of intent signals. So, the way that you're thinking about or the products or services that you're selling do matter quite a bit in intent, and certain categories just work a lot better. So I'll use an example in HR. Things like employee engagement surveys are perfect for intent because they're ran once a year. They're typically either 1 to 3 year contracts. At some point, you're going to be shopping for an employee engagement survey. It's pretty obvious when you're selling employee engagement who owns the employee engagement survey. Like, it's pretty easy to get to that person, to find them, whether it's on LinkedIn. And so you're really starting to narrow, once you have the company, who exactly it is that's probably looking for this. Now, something like a HRIS or payroll can be a little bit difficult because there are so many potential buyers. When somebody's implementing a new full HRIS platform, that could be coming from finance, it could be coming from IT, it could be coming from random people within the organization Googling. So it gets really difficult to identify, is this something that the organization is actually looking for? And can I get to the one or two people that can tell me, like, is this an initiative and is this a priority? Because, people may be showing intent signals, or a company may be showing intent signals, but that doesn't mean that they're actually going to be buying. They may be researching, or they may be doing it for some other random reason. That doesn't mean 100% of the time they're going to buy. What you're betting with intent data is that you're going to be better off going at companies that are showing some level of intent than you are at companies that are showing no intent and just have the right or just have the right size, or you're targeting the right titles. So we've used this across pretty much every single niche within HR. I mean, with every client that we've ran this with, intent almost always outperforms cold. I've only seen it a few times where your cold outreach outperforms intent. That it's just extremely rare. So it's something that you should absolutely have in your mix. If you're running cold campaigns and there's intent signals out there, you should also be running intent signals, because it's just going to make your team a lot better. So I know intent can be, like I said, there's a lot of different types of intent. People try intent and they don't know what to do with it. To do intent the right way, you really need to have a team that's buttoned up on the sales and marketing side. So you can get a bunch of intent signals, but if you don't have anyone to run kind of dedicated campaigns to them, or your team doesn't do paid advertising, or you don't have an inside sales team and your account executives don't prospect that much, it makes it pretty challenging to actually use the intent data and run campaigns in the right way. So hope this information is helpful. If you have any questions on intent, specifically within your niche, and are wondering what the intent looks like, I mean, we provide intent free trials all the time, just so that you can hop in, take a look, see what's been showing for your intent signals over the last day or week or 30 days or anything like that. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. It's a bit of a confusing topic, but once you start doing intent and you start doing it right, it just works so well, and you'll never stop running those campaigns, because they're pretty much always going to outperform your cold campaign. So hope this information is helpful.